We're doing it live. Back to the Web3 Gamer recap. I am your host, Icy, with some very special guests today because this is not a normal recap show. We've got a really special topic to talk about today. We are live on Binance Live in collaboration with the Crypto OGs. So thank you so much if you're tuning back in. It's great to be here with you. I've got Rex. I've got my normal co-host, normal new filling in co-host, Matt DeFi is in the building. Matt, first we'll go to you. How you doing? We're busy today.
Yeah, super exciting day. We're finally live with Owned. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, thanks again for having me. I'm still trying to replace Paisan. He's left a big shoes to fill, so I'll do my best.
Well,
But yeah,
he's busy over there in Paisan world, so I'm sure he'll understand. You guys see the banner behind us. We got the man of the hour, Rex, our fearless leader. Rex, how are you doing? It's launch day. We're gonna get into all of that, but first, how are you doing? You shaved for us.
Yes, I shaved for this. Well, also I'm flying to Thailand tomorrow, so I launched everything that I'm just saying screw y'all and leaving as quickly as possible. So that's how a founder's supposed to do it, right? If you're rugging the right way. But yeah, so it's been a long few months, but everything is culminating in today. It feels good. It feels like the weight is off the shoulders. Also, new weights are added to the shoulders. It's cool to see this thing birth, and no shortage of help from you two as well. Also, I'm surprised that this is the first time. How long have we known each other, Icy? And this is the first time Rex is making an appearance on this thing. Come on now. Come on now.
Very true, very true. I kind of took a hiatus, a pause
Mm.
while I was figuring out my whole content strategy, and fortunately came back through the Owned program and was
Hey,
able. So thank you for making it possible to reboot the
I got
series.
you, boo. I got you, boo.
But as we alluded to, big announcement, big launch today of the owned.gg platform,
Look at that.
signing up, pre-registering for Game League, this $1 million prize pool. What is this? What are we doing? What's going on? How do we even tee this up? Rex, do you want to
yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah. So I
I
guess
think start from the top. Yeah, what is
yeah.
Owned, right?
Let's
Yeah.
take us back to the start, right? And as much as I love looking at this website, I want to look at my face more. So blow me up here for a second. That there's kind of this idea, right? And this is the whole reason. Other than the fact that when you jump into Web3 gaming, they let you play video games all day. But this is the main reason that I jumped into Web3 gaming. I got my start working at Blockworks and ended up running the business development function at Blockworks, which is a crypto media news firm for those of you who are only in gaming, who don't pay attention to like DeFi or news or anything like that on the crypto side. And one of the things that we would do there all day, every day is help brands. Like we would work with like Coinbase or Kraken or Damon or like insert crypto brand here on how do you build trust and how do you acquire users from people who are naturally distrusting of this crazy thing called crypto and Bitcoin, right? And as things were kind of growing, especially in the gaming side of the equation, I saw the same thing happening, right? Burn NFTs to the ground. It's they're just trying to make more money on you. NFTs are the worst. They don't belong in gaming. All this kind of stuff. So I figured I'd spend a lot of time figuring out how to build trust from people in the financial world. How how could I use some of those skills and try and figure out how to do that in gaming? And so gaming, right, has a massive user acquisition problem. And so that's kind of where the Game Fest, or excuse me, the Game League came from. Is this idea that how do you get gamers in playing games, stepping into like the user onboarding experience of crypto, getting wallets, like all of these things that occur, right? We all, and I assume all the people watching and all of that kind of stuff, fundamentally believe like we should own the assets that we control, be them in real life or digitally, right? And we think that players deserve that as well, but they don't necessarily need to go through the hiccups of like, okay, I've loaded up my ETH to my centralized exchange. Now I got to get it into my wallet. Oh, I just paid like $25 in gas fees just to get like $30 of stuff into something so I could go in and play this game, right? Like gamers. They don't need that anymore, right? They can just go on to Epic Game Store or they can go on to Steam and log and stuff in. So, how do you convince a gamer to come in and try out a new system? The other side of the equation is how do you convince a gamer to come in and try out an entirely new game? Like games without Web3 have a problem trying to onboard gamers into their game. That's why you see hundreds or thousands of games that quote unquote are dead on Steam because they can't convince someone to come play their game. And so it's kind of a twofold problem that we're trying to dive into. And so what the hypothesis at Owned that we put together, right, is twofold. One, let's convince a player to come over to the new system, right? Having a wallet, playing games, checking things out. And then also, how do you incentivize them to try out new games? So the first thing we do, right, is we roll out 4 traditional games that people are going to be able to play. We have Dota 2, we have Fortnite, we have Free Fire, and we have Counter-Strike 2. These are games that people love to play. So if you can convince them to come play the games that they already like in a new system, you can get them hooked up with all the fun stuff. So we're setting up wallets for them on the background. We're giving them their first NFT. So we're paying for gas fees to make sure that everyone's covered. Like they don't have to deal with a lot of this stuff. So they onboard and already get accepted into Web3. Then once they're in the system, they're like, oh, sweet. Like I want some prizes. Like it's fun over here. Maybe NFTs and wallets aren't so scary. Then we say like, hey, by the way, here's the best that Web3 has to offer. And you could win some serious prizes if you wanted to come play. It's like literally no scams included. All you have to do is come on the website. You have to play the games that you already like. And if you do, you will walk away with something. That's it. And so that is what the Game League is. We wanted to set up to really just make it simple for people to onboard for the first time, playing the games that they already like. So I know that was a big roundabout story, but that's kind of the genesis for what this is and where we're going.
No, I love that. Getting that context of like why it started in the first place, and the problem that it's solving, I think is really, really important. We'll dive into the specifics of what the Game League is going to be, but I loved your tweet the other day of like, I might mess around tomorrow and launch the largest Web3 gaming user acquisition event this year. That was posted yesterday. Little teaser announcement of the announcement. We got an awesome video that popped off on Twitter. So if you haven't seen that, we'll link it below. Maybe we'll play a teaser of it later, but I do want to get into a little bit of the Game League. Matteo, do you have anything to comment on that before we talk more?
I think the first thing is the question that everyone has at the moment is like, how do I get in? How do I enter the Game League? So Rex, if you want to paint a bit of color on that, how we're gonna get into that.
I agree. I love that. Let's maybe play the video.
Ooh.
Let's play the video. Let's start off with the announcement video. So we had a big announcement go out today. Let's listen to that. I don't know if you guys are gonna have the audio, but the stream will. So I'm gonna play this for us.
I will dance anyway, even if I can't hear it, just so people know that we're vibing.
Yeah, we're very familiar, right? Game League, free to enter, $1 million in prizes. Play your favorite games like Dota 2 and CS2. Find your new favorite games like Parallel and Spider Tanks, and you can register now at owned.gg. And we got this cool little video.
I can't hear anything, but I'm dancing. Probably dancing off beat, but I'm trying to hit the marks that I know from the video.
Custom Fortnite. Epic. I love it. I'm so excited. So now, Matteo, I will throw it to your question. How do people enter? What are the details? What do we need to know? I saw you mentioned some games, Rex. I saw a custom Fortnite map. There's a lot to unpack here. So let's get into some of that nitty gritty.
Yeah, so the first thing everyone should do right now is you should stop paying attention to us. This is something I will never say on stream, but it's so important to me. You should stop paying attention to the stream and you should go to own.gg right now and go pre-register. Fill in your email. That'll keep you up to date on everything that's going on. Then if you want to, you can follow us on Discord, or you can jump in our Discord. You can follow us on Twitter, those types of things, because we'll keep stuff up to date there as well. Now, that's step one. Once you're pre-registered, then what you need to start looking out for is some secret codes. We will be handing these out. No one has access to the platform right now, but there will be secret codes that are coming out. And the reason secret codes are important, twofold. One is you get to have access kind of the beta version of the platform. You can help us test it out, showcase what's going on, but you also will get the ability to mint your owned mercenary. So your owned mercenary is actually the game pass that gives you access to everything. So we've partnered with all our game partners in order for you to show up on leaderboards and be entered into tournaments and stuff like that. In the wallet that you guys have, you'll need to have one of these owned mercenaries. So this is we actually built out an Unreal Engine 5 mercenary with the same people who just who put together a lot of the characters for the Mortal Kombat 1 that just dropped out. So really cool stuff that will happen. We'll talk about how you can get access to that later. But that is the main thing. Now, this mercenary isn't just like a cool looking guy, right? We'll roll out cosmetics for like the Hello Kitty folks of the world as well. That is coming down the line. But this is actually a dynamically upgradable NFT. So what you'll be doing throughout the game league, once it launches, is there will be quests, there will be games, there will be tournaments, there will be leaderboards. There's a lot of things that are going to go on. As you complete all of these actions, you'll actually be getting EXP points, and these EXP points can be used to level up your mercenary. Why this is important is because the level of your mercenary at the end of the game league, the 4 weeks that it's happening, November 13th to I think it's December 8th, the level that you have at the end, that will determine what types of loot boxes and how many loot boxes you will get. So there will be rarities of loot boxes full of a ton of things. And that's, I've learned one thing about gaming, and it's not all about the friends you make along the way. It's all about the loot that you get along the way. So that is what we have for gamers here. Show up in game. It's free to enter, and then you can get the loot that you so desperately desire to prove that you're a gamer.
And to be honest, we did cater for the gamers, right? So for example, like when you say their wallet, you just do mean like an account, right?
It's so you sign up, the user flow signing up, you just sign in with your email. You can choose if you're a Web3 native like some of us and you want to connect your own wallet, feel free to. We have that option, but also we have the owned inventory system. It's a Web3 custodial wallet on the back end. We will store all of your assets and make sure you get everything you need. We believe that you should own things, but again, it's all in the background. We're flipping on the Web3 switch for you, and it's just like a normal inventory on Steam or in a game.
I love it. I have so many questions, Mateo. Yeah. I'm sure you do too. Sorry, Matt. I always like calling you Mateo. Yeah. I apologize.
Very official here today.
It's my term of endearment or sign of endearment.
But love language. It's your love language.
Yeah. I want to jump back, Rex. So we've got Game League. We've got $1 million prize pool. You just explained a little bit of like how that's going to work. Have we talked in some of the games that are playing? Have we talked about when it is? It is in the announcement video. So like, tell me more. Like we've got this big thing. What is the date? We know how to pre-register. What's next?
Yeah. So the number one thing, if you're a gamer out there looking to game, just keep paying attention. We'll be doing game nights in our Discords. We'll be doing AMAs. We'll be doing secret code giveaways. That will get you access to some of the early codes right now. But there will be a public unveiling on the 11th of November, that Friday before all of this kicks off. So everyone can come in over the weekend, get ready, plan out your schedules, see how what games you're gonna jump into, and then the 13th is when the first tournament kicks off, which is the Fortnite leaderboard tournament.
Okay.
This is not, and I have to clarify this because anytime Fortnite comes up, Epic Games, we don't want them to squash us with a bug. This is not endorsed or put on by Epic Games. We are an unlicensed, but following all of the rules that they have in their rules document to run an unofficial Fortnite tournament. But yes, that'll be the first one that's kicking off, and we're very excited for everyone to come in and play. I don't know, one of the biggest games in the world.
Awesome. We're a few weeks away, but we're running the pre-registration now. You can get in, look out for those access codes. $1 million in prizes. Can you tell me a little bit more about how that's going to work? You talked about, all right, you upgrade your merc and everything, but we've got the Fortnite tournament to kick it off. Yes. What do we target? How long is this whole series going to last? And like, give me some color on that.
Yeah, so we're gonna be 4 weeks long. It's gonna be like gamers, we are not lying when we say for the sweaty casuals. There's gonna be a lot coming at you very quickly. All right, so pretty much every 2 days, there will be a new game tournament that is spinning up. We're not trying to overload you where there's like 6 different tournaments on the same day. So there's no more than 2 game tournaments live at any one time. But what that means is they come in quick succession. And it'll be over 4 weeks. So there's going to be quests that drop pretty much every other day. There's going to be game tournaments that are dropping every other day. So there's always something new to come back and check out on the website. But like, there's some pretty big names that are getting involved in the sense of like competition professional esports players. So like bring your sweatiest, all right? Bring the skills. Dust off if you're like me, who has 2 children and can't get the reps in anymore. Dust off the cobwebs, see what you can do, see if you still got what it takes, right? And get in to try. Because again, free, it's leaderboard styles for a lot of these things. So just get in, just go play as much as you can. You don't necessarily have to have your fire squad or fire team lined up. We want to make it so that an individual person that's coming in can really shine, succeed, get prizes, get rewards. That's the idea.
Yeah, and what I love about it is that like there is a really good mix of games, right? So like whatever kind of gamer you are, you can participate. You know, we got PUBG Mobile, so like even for mobile players.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
keep
know,
saying this, and the only thing that I haven't figured out yet is how to do a competitive leaderboard style for Stardew Valley, because I know that I would clean sweep in that. This is just me judging about where my gaming tastes have grown over the years. I used to be sweaty in Dota, but that was before Dota was Dota 2, and it was actually while Dota was still a Warcraft 3 mod is when I was the sweatiest at Dota. Maybe aging myself there a little bit, but yeah. So it really, we try and have games for everyone. We're partnering with probably some of the best games that Web3 has to offer right now as well, because I think a lot of what gamers think when they think of gaming is like, oh, there's like, it's some play to earn, point and click, not very competitive, boring, maybe idle game, where a lot of games specifically, they got funding 2 or 3 years ago. They've been building for a very long time, and now these betas are really starting to come in. You're getting full game launches from some of these games, so it's really exciting to be a part of the industry right now, because all of the stuff that we've been waiting for way too long on is really starting to come to light at the moment, and so that's what we're trying to showcase today.
yeah. Do you want to like shout out any of the particular games where we
Yeah,
have
so we
in
got
the mix?
What can we
Parallel.
leak? What can we leak? The
Yeah, yeah.
alpha here.
So Parallel, we've already talked about. Spider Tanks, we've already talked about. Metalcore is going to be one of the premier games that we're working on.
Love Metalcore.
Yes, we have a lot of games that it's a little bit too early for their actual game release, but they're putting prizes in the prize pools. Like we can shout out Shrapnel, thank you Shrapnel, and a few others. We'll keep that. But we also, I mean, from a prizes standpoint, it's not everyone thinks like gamers in Web3 gaming only care about NFTs, but we're trying to make this like gaming is gaming. So we have a lot of other prizes. I think the only additional alpha that I can, or the only other secret that hasn't been announced yet that I can, is there will be a little bit of a race. So everyone, as you guys are leveling up your mercs and questing, just be wary that there is a Razer computer up for grabs to the first person who gets level 10 on their mercenary. And that not only level 10 for the prize of that, but it also gives you access to the biggest prizes that we have on the platform. So that is some other fun things. We're here for the gamers. We want to give gamers what they want.
That's huge. Yeah.
Again, I have so many like questions and I want to dig into so much, but you just mentioned level 10 on your mercenary. So what do we know, or what can you tell us about like these levels? You already said earlier, leveling up your merc is going to kind of determine where you fall into the leaderboards and the prize that you're eligible to claim at the end. There's going to be 10 levels at least, we know that.
Yes.
And there's a race to it for a Razer computer, so that's massive.
Level 10 is the highest level right now. I don't know. I don't want to peel too many layers back. There's a lot of
whatever you don't want to answer is fine, but it's my job to pick and prod and get what we can.
No, which is fair. Yeah, I mean, at the fundamental core, like, right, what we're trying to do is deliver like a gamer experience to gamers. And that, you know, taking a step back, that's what Owned is trying to do, right? We're working with creators on how to engage better with their audience through game related actions, right? We're helping gamers find new games that they may like, indie games, blockchain games, whatever the case may be. We're just trying to help the gamers and creators connect more holistically. And that just requires like delivering a gamer focused experience. So many games, so many partners, so many growth folks out there are like, if we just, you know, put a wallet in the background and like give gamers NFTs, then they'll be happy and then they'll come play our game. And like that hasn't worked for 2 years. We need to change the strategy. And so like we just want to give gamers what they want. Sometimes it'll be off-chain things, like it doesn't all need to be on the blockchain, as much as everyone harps on the fact that it needs to be. Sometimes it can be on the blockchain. So when it makes sense for a player to own something and own it indefinitely on the blockchain, like provably, all that kind of stuff, like we will roll out those things. But like you don't need V-Bucks on the blockchain, so like why don't you just get some V-Bucks and have it be a fun gamer and go spend that in the Fortnite games that you're going to go play. So we're trying to set up experiences for everyone. And I don't know, there's the old bingo, Web3 bingo game card of gaming's just gaming. It doesn't matter if it's Web3 or Web2, man. But that's really what we're trying to deliver. It's like you choose how far down the rabbit hole you want to go, and we'll make sure that you're happy along the way.
Awesome. Rex, any alpha on the faction system? I know that's something that's within the platform, and I know we're partnering with some really awesome communities and in the Web3
Yes.
gaming space,
Yeah.
esports orgs potentially. So yeah, any alpha on that?
Let me see what I can say about this. Factions are going to be important in the future. They're also important right now. Soon you'll have the ability to actually spin up your own faction. So as opposed to, there's gaming guilds, and when you're in non-blockchain gaming, right, you think of like the times in World of Warcraft where you have your guild and you're running raids and all that kind of stuff. Then you have like the blockchain guilds, which is like, how do I get a bunch of scholars to make a bunch of money while I rent out assets? And so the factions is leaning more towards the former. But there are some pretty fun things on the esports side that will slowly roll out based on factions as this is coming up. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away now, but the Game League is it's our kind of not coup de grace, because that's like your opus, right? That's your life's work. This is like what's the entry, right? This is like the first time you meet Owned. We're doing this really, really fun Game League. But the Owned future, right, is building great experiences for gamers, giving them the ability to integrate into Web3 without, depending on how deep they want to go, but then also give them the ability to, I don't know, make a living playing video games in some capacity, earn a little bit of cash if you're an extra sweaty individual. So there's things like that that are coming down the road. So stay tuned.
This sounds so fun and so awesome. Why it's free to enter. So why did you do it that way? And I hear the kids in the background. Are the kids going to be playing and competing for this? Is everybody going to come on in?
I'm starting my own small little guild. Right. So I got them on the sticks. They're training. They're just on consoles right now because they need some of the aim assist. Okay. But once they really get up and spinning, I'll put them on the PC to really go ham.
Start cranking 90s.
Yeah. So they're 2 and 4 right now. So they got a couple years before they're truly dominating in the lobbies. But it's the reason we wanted to make it free to enter. One is the number one thing that gamers think, right, when they see, especially gamers in North America, is in Europe, right, when they see NFTs involved in anything gaming related, they bring out their pitchforks and their torches. And I like the number one thing we're trying to do is make as little friction as possible in coming in and trying out what's happening. So that's why, and this is a call for creators too, right? I know that there's a ton of creators out there that have audiences of non-blockchain gaming audiences. They're super scared to like bring up anything blockchain gaming, NFT related, even though in the background, like we know Mr. Beast has NFTs, right? But they just don't talk about that very much publicly. So there, a lot of folks are looking for a window of opportunity to start stepping into this world. And so that's what we've set up, right? It's free to enter. And even if the only thing you do is come in and play Fortnite, or the only thing you come in and play is Dota 2, right? You're still getting a small Web3 experience because on the back end, you will mint your mercenary. You'll have a wallet. You'll have your first NFT. We know this is a very special moment for a lot of folks, right? So we want to make that special. And then you'll walk away with some prizes, right? So there's really it is an opportunity for folks to for the folks that are scared, they can come in, and if they hate NFTs so much, they can come in, they can win some NFTs, and they can list them for like 1 cent and send it all to zero, right? Like that's fine. You own it. It's yours. That's the beauty of it. You can do exactly what you want with it when you get it. We can't control or change what you want to do with it. So, but the idea here, right? Free to enter. We wanted to make it as accessible to people as possible. For real. That's it. Yeah. Pre-register now. Make sure you get there.
Yeah, I love that.
GG.
I mean, you talk about like, owning your assets, and we believe in that future, and we're not shying away from the blockchain and the NFT aspect, but at its core,
we're not going to
gaming-
shove it down your throats either. Like that's the thing. It's like you go as far as you want to with this. We're giving you the checkpoints, where you can, if you want to go full Web3 degen, like we're here for you. But like if you just want to play Fortnite, we're here for you too.
Yeah. So you've mentioned Fortnite a few times, and we have this custom Fortnite map. I want to ask about that. What can you tell me about that? What's the strategy behind that? Like, what does it take? Tell me more. I'm so curious about this map. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Yeah. So we worked with Dreamcatchers. They're owned by the company Artera to build us a custom Fortnite map because we wanted to give like a special place where this will exist. One of the fun things that's happening too is we're working on some of the Web3 games that are participating, like Spider Tanks and Metalcore and those types of folks. We're actually getting some of their 3D assets and putting it in the map. So for those Metalcore lovers, right, you'll be able to like fight around the leg of one of the Metalcore mechs while you're in here in Fortnite battling.
Oh man.
Yes. So it'll be
awesome.
it's just like a cool experience, right? And what's neat, right, is this is also introducing your brand to a bunch of people for the first time that may not see it before. And so the billboard effect, right? You need to see it 7 to 10 times before you fully trust a brand. This is the start of that for a lot of games. So we're giving kind of that pathway to success that happens, or the kind of first step in marketing. And so we're doing that with some of our premier partners, which is exciting.
I'm excited for this one. There's a lot of Web3 gaming, people, content creators, gamers that like are really, really good at Fortnite, right?
They're sweating. It's a no build. It's like a team deathmatch. The goal to get the highest on the leaderboard is you got to get as many kills as possible within the time frame. So
yeah, something tells me it's gonna get quite competitive because we even have like Fortnite pros reaching out already, and like they're like, oh,
I know,
like I want to take part. So
I know.
Yeah,
we'll see
it's
how
gonna
it
be
goes.
one of the big ones. Yeah,
it's hopefully very exciting. Hopefully, I said this before, like in a perfect world, right? So many people find out about this because of what we're doing that like the people who hate NFTs get out their pitchforks and torches and come talk about us because like they're not going to join the thing anyway, which is fine. Like if you don't want to join, I'm not going to force you, but we'll be in the conversation because there are people out there that are like, you know what? A lot of people talk about NFTs as being really bad. And it's like, it's not that crazy. Like and like what is it, Warzone shutting down and closing out like hundreds of thousands of dollars of assets, Apex Legend or Apex Mobile shutting down, all the people who lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars of assets there, right? These are
Rocket
things that
League shutting off their stuff.
These are things that people are dealing with today, right? And I know like sure you don't get access to them in the game if the game shuts down and stuff like that, but there are some like collector's items editions, right, that from some of these gigantic games where if it was an NFT, sure, like don't get me wrong, like an NFT from a game that no one cares about and just started a year ago and it doesn't exist anymore, no one's going to want to buy that. But like imagine if you had some Rocket League skins that you could buy and sell in secondary where like I remember playing this in my friend's basement when we were like doing LAN parties in like middle school and high school, right? Those are the things that people collect nowadays, right? Pokemon cards and everything. So it opens up some possibilities on top of a lot of other things that are very important, which I'm obviously not touching on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Game League is like a perfect opportunity to like make that leap if you've never. I mean, because there's nothing to lose, right? It's free. Even if you're a bit of a hater, like just try out some games, win some prizes.
Literally nothing to lose.
Yeah, nothing.
There is no other shoe. One of the things on the website, like there's no scams included. Like we're like we're not trying to do anything other than let you play games and get rewarded for playing games.
Yeah, what's the catch?
No.
What is the catch?
But the evil NFT overlords will come and take you for all you're worth. So watch out.
I want to ask Rex because you talked a lot about like a lot of the partners, right? And you've leaked some. I understand that you can't leak everything. Listen, we just made the big announcement today. We want to let that simmer, let us cook a little bit, but we're going to be, feeding out announcements and teasers and stuff over the next month leading up to Game League. But I'm curious a little bit, what does success for you kind of look like with Game League? I mean, we're trying to bring gamers, we're trying to, marry the two. This is a big activation, $1 million prize pool. What does success look like? And also, like, why should people care? Like, why should we care about Game League being successful? And what does this mean for our space and also gaming as a whole?
Yeah, so I'll be a bit facetious in saying, like, if this kicked off the next bull run in crypto, like, that's probably my metric for success right now. Is like where I'm kind of drawing it. Nah, but
Just the entire fate of the industry.
I mean, no big. But if I had to actually, so one of the things too is for this Game League, we've basically gone to everyone that is in Web3 gaming or in blockchain gaming, and we are taking sponsorship dollars, but 100% of what we are getting from partners is going either into the Game League or into the prize pool to make it as big as possible. We are not making any revenue on this in any capacity. So this really is like the reason why so many games are getting involved is because they all see us like linking arms and joining together to be like, guys, like, we know you're all focused on AI. Come back to blockchain for a little bit first. But also, like, hey, we have been building for 2.5 years now really successfully, and we have some amazing games now. And it's almost like we wanted to get the industry together to write a love letter to gamers and say, gamers, like, come give us a second chance. We know some of the times you guys got burned last time, but we're here. We want you to come play our games. No, like, scams included. We just want to make sure that you have a good time and potentially you walk away with some fun stuff. Like, no matter what, every single person who comes will get something.
Yeah.
Right? That is, they will walk away with something in their wallet in some capacity. We are doing that for you. So all you have to do is show up and play your favorite games. That's all we ask.
I love it, man. It's super exciting. I'm going to definitely be playing. We're obviously, organizing, and I'm working a little bit behind the scenes. So it's super cool. I want
to not financial advice, but this is a sponsored post. Is that right?
Yeah. But
don't
disclaimers
worry,
out
FTC,
there. Don't
FTC,
sue me.
we're doing our thing. Okay.
I'm more scared of like the judgment on crypto Twitter amongst my peers than I am the FTC.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I want to ask you, Rex, because this is obviously an awesome initiative, right? What is the future vision for Owned? I know you spoke about it a little bit at the top, but I want to get like more of a sense of like how this plays into launching Owned and what people can come to expect from Owned, not only from the Game League, but further on after the Game League.
Yeah, so the core vision, like what we've kind of galvanized the Owned community around, the Owned company around, is the idea that we just want to make it easier for gamers to say yes to playing new games. Our niche is blockchain gaming, right? Because that's where we have grown up. We all were playing Axie. We were playing insert hot to trot game that has a basic NFTs that are going up in price because up only, right? But that's where we have our niche, and that's where we could probably supply like the best help for user acquisition. But not just Web3 games have like a user acquisition problem. Indie games have a user acquisition problem. So how do we build tools for game studios to work more closely with the gamers and their communities or in other communities? How do we build tools for creators to work more closely with their audience and then more closely with the games to get gamers playing video games, right? And so there's some really fun things that you can do when you can tie a user to a wallet address that's a gamer, right? Associated in an audience. So let's just say like Stash, love Stash, great creator, part of the Own team, right? And let's just say Stash is live streaming one day on YouTube, and he's like, hey, by the way, today I'm working with, and we brought up Metalcore a few times, I'm working with Metalcore today, and they wanted to make sure like all of the people that are paying attention today could get access to a like a Land Rover ship or whatever, any sort of mech that they have, right? And so what that offers the ability to do is when you are in owned, you've spun up a wallet, you've connected your YouTube, you're watching Stash. Stash doesn't have to like go in and like copy wallet addresses and change all this stuff around. You don't have to go spin up a wallet or do any of this other stuff. Like Metalcore can just like work with Stash and drop things into your inventory system. And I say inventory system because like it's in the background, like if you want it to be. And then what you can do is the next time you log into Metalcore, you will have those assets ready to go and ready to play. And so you can get really fun user acquisition events that happen, but it's not just about acquiring users, right? Like gamers win in this situation.
Yeah.
like that's like the beauty of it is we want to build a world where gamers can get more involved without having to like if you log into owned and you never log into owned again, you like in a perfect world you still get all of the perks of being on the owned platform because we're trying to make this you can turn on the Web3 switch and go as deep into Web3 or as little into Web3 as you want, but you get all the perks of doing so. So that's kind of the future of the platform, right? We just want to make it easier for gamers to play games.
I really like that because that resonates with me on a core level of like why I'm even interested in blockchain to begin with, right? A lot of it is a distribution network and it's going kind of peer to peer or direct. It's like, hey, we have this stuff. Why don't we just give it to you directly so that you can own it? That's kind of like the definition of us owning our assets, right?
Yeah.
So helping creators, but also games connect with other gamers and other assets and other creators or their fans or whatnot just seems to make so much sense. And it has been a struggle with traditional tech platforms or traditional means, if you will.
I think about how many Twitch Prime drops you've gotten that you're never going to use because it's not a game that you would want to play, which like you're never going to want to play every game as a gamer. But like imagine if you own that and then you could log on to a platform and you could go sell it on a marketplace to someone who does want to play it, right? Literally everyone in the ecosystem wins in that capacity because like sure it's not going to be like you're making life-changing money. We're not telling you to retire off of like monkey pictures that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? These are gaming assets, right? You spend $4.99 on a skin, $2.99 on a skin, right? If someone's dropping that to you, you can go on secondary, sell it for $1.50, right? You have $1.50 now to go buy a different asset that you like. Someone in the ecosystem that does like it got it for cheaper than they wanted. The game is excited because now they have volume on their marketplace that's going on the background, so they can go out and potentially raise more money to go build a better version of their game, right? And then the creator's happy because they gave it away and they've just got an audience member for life. Like in that ecosystem, I don't know how you can tell me that like NFTs are scary because like literally everyone won in that scenario. So it's just like this is why I think it's so pertinent to like make it really it's a bingo card thing, but like we are actively trying to make it really easy to get gamers playing games, and that's because we make it like really easy for them to engage with Web3, and I think that's just like a really important part to hammer home. I don't know.
It makes sense to me, man, right? Like we're talking kind of like player-owned economies, right? And empowering people and giving them back the freedom, the opportunity, the independence, the ability to do what they want with the things that they own or care about and to connect with each other. We've talked a little bit about like some of these, questing, or we're kind of dancing around like, or we're kind of like hinting at some of these things. Can you tell me more about some of these quests that are going to be there on the site? We do have these creators, right? So what can you tell me about the creators, about some of these quests, some of the other things that people are going to be able to dive into and enjoy throughout Game League?
Yeah, so I think one of the things, right, we're gonna have quests for people to like level up and do stuff, and
sorry for the audience. I should probably clarify. We had to say goodbye to Matt. He dropped off real quick.
He hates us. It turns out he hates NFTs. He's out of here. He's getting his pitchfork and his torch right now.
This is not what he signed up for. It was not made clear to him that NFTs were going to be involved, and he is now back.
No, he's out of the game. And by the way, where's everyone's festivals? Just gotta put that out.
Yeah, exactly. I want to talk about. We'll come back to that. We'll touch on that. But talk to me about these quests, these creators, and kind of provide some color there.
Yeah, so these are the these are the creators that have kind of signed with us to go exclusive, which is really exciting. So when you're working with us, what we work on is kind of content marketing and UGC packages and stuff like that. But part of the quest, right, will be engaging with creators. So you can find some of your new favorite creators, engage with them on all those social platforms. Social quests are going to be a part of this, right? if you've been in Web3 for long enough, you're just like tired of having to go follow and like and jump into a Discord. So that's a portion. And actually, the EXP that you get from doing social quests is actually a lot less than what we are focusing our time and energy on, which is the game related quests. So you will get, we are working with our partner DQuest. They're going to be setting up a whole bunch of quests for us. The quests that give you the best EXP to level up your merc and get the most loot is actually game related quests, right? So we're working with over 80 plus game partners right now on integrating, hey, when you finish chapter 1, or if you beat X raid boss, or if you play 3 matches, or if you win a race, right? These things will happen in all of the different games that you play. So we're leaning into gameplay first, and that will give you the ability to get your EXP, which then gives you the ability to level up your merc, which gives you the ability to win some loot boxes, those types of things. So that we're really leaning into the gameplay, and actually the social quests don't get unlocked until you actually pay the game play first. So any of the bots that are coming in that are trying to just like farm as much as they can and just do all these social quests and not mean they have to they'll have to actually like sign in. They have to build a bot for 80 games that can get through the level 1 or chapter 1 or boss fight 1 of 80 different games in order to get to the social quests, because like we fundamentally believe we want to reward people who are gamers, not bot enthusiasts. If someone can code a bot for all of these things in the time frames that we have set up, man, you deserve it.
So someone will
You
hear that and
deserve
be
it.
like, challenge accepted. So
I know, and if you're out there, this is someone I want in my corner. So like, reach out to me once you've completed it, and we can talk about what's next. But yeah, so the quests are gonna be fun. But yeah, social quests to engage with the creators, right? We have some of the top, I think the top 10% of creators that are in Web3 right now working with us. And we want to partner with them and help them grow. We want you guys, if you haven't been introduced to a lot of these folks before, to get to know them. So I think it's a big one for everyone in that capacity.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. What am I not asking you? What else should we cover? I kind of want to ask. I want to dig. Well, we mentioned the Merc a little bit, and I kind of wanted
Yeah.
to jump back in. Oh, I was gonna circle around to that. I remembered
Yeah.
where I was gonna go. But real quick, why is it a Merc? And you hinted at who designed it. I mean, it's freaking super cool. What's the story behind the Merc?
The mercenary. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
we
in the
talked about leveling
trenches,
it up
right?
and all that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
why we go with a Merc?
So they're in the trenches, right? Fighting for making gaming. So that's kind of the idea. And so the people who are jumping into this, they're like fundamentally, quote unquote, on the front lines, trying to make sure that people aren't scared of NFTs. so when you're jumping into Own for the first time, we are dubbing you one of the owned. You're getting conscripted into the owned mercenary army to fight on the front lines of blockchain gaming versus gaming, which it really isn't like versus. It's just
It's
like
the future. You're fighting
it's
for the
just
future of
I know
gaming.
you're fighting for the future, right? And so I think that's one other thing too that often gets conflated, right? Is like it's being in Web3 or blockchain gaming right now kind of stinks, because like all of the crypto folks, they're like, oh, they're just a part of gaming. Let's go let them do their thing. And all the gaming folks, which again that bubble is much bigger, are like, oh, they're just some crypto bros and gals. Like, well, they'll just go do their things. But like we're sitting in this like kind of insular bubble where like we're not really fully accepted by either side.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is that is changing, right?
Yeah.
People are getting beaten down on both sides of the equation. A lot of the crypto folks are saying like, oh, like, it's really interesting that people who've been playing trading card games for their entire lives and trading Pokemon cards like fundamentally understand what like real ownership means to a thing that exists, whether it be in real life or digital, right? And that's like a really easy user onboarding experience for someone who is coming in to try and own something on the internet for the first time. And so like the crypto people are waking up, but I think also the gaming people are waking up too, right? There's the gamers are starting to see what all of these big corporations are doing, and so they're saying like, oh, there should be a little bit more feedback. There should be something that I get to take away from this versus just you controlling my entire like Steam account and or how much money I've put into. Is it Football Club 24? Is that it's not FIFA 24? Yes. So like my money goes in and it's a black void, and I'm comfortable spending $200 or $250 on this because that's just part of the deal. But like imagine if you spent $250 on something and the game knows that you own it, and then they're much more inclined to make you happy with that thing that you've bought, and now maybe you become a super whale in the game, which is games only care about whales, right? It creates a better incentive structure, in my opinion overall. So I digress.
Tell me, I gotta know more about this Merc, man. This thing is badass. The
Yeah.
design is incredible. Are there any Easter eggs on this? Who designed it?
Yeah. So we got
Tell
the
me, talk to me. There's
I
different colors. I
can't
assume that
remember the
has to do
name.
with like the levels.
Yeah, I can't remember the name right now of the lab, but they did a lot of the mercs for the Mortal Kombat 1, the new Mortal Kombat that just came out. So it's the same studio that does it there.
Yeah.
They spin up amazing Unreal Engine 5 things, and so we'll be working with them for all the cosmetics. At a certain point, you can unlock your merc at some point, so just be ready when your mercenary goes from being a 2D picture to a 3D rendered Unreal Engine 5 asset. So another perk in the journey. But yeah.
Super cool, super cool. And we talked a little bit about it earlier. We mentioned some feastables. We've got, the creators. We've got the game league. What can you there's some subtle nods here. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, and like no hate or whatever shade on what happened with Creator League, right? When I saw the announcement, I was so excited because I was like being on the sidelines just watching what was happening. My gut was like amazing. They've found like the top people in the industry who are like on board with NFTs to like join arms and like try and dispel some of the myths that are happening out there, right? And turns out that was not the case. And so like that was like it was a little bit of a heartbreak for me, right? I was in the trenches on social medias like trying to leave comments and like talk to people. Like the reason in my view, granted I haven't been like burned by NFTs in any capacity, but I feel like the loudest people haven't bought an NFT anyway, so they haven't had a chance to get burned by NFTs. The way that people got mad around the Creator League was basically like, I hate the fact that this Game Pass is on the blockchain, right? Is in the same way that like I am a Google Cloud Maxi. Do not bring me AWS, right? Like that's
I want dial up.
Yeah. So it's like to me like it just seems like a different type of database on the back end is what they're doing. Granted, we're leaning in much more. Like we're being very open about the fact that there's NFTs involved. We're going to have the blockchain enabled in more places. You will be able to do a bunch more stuff with that, but that's because we believe that there's more interoperability, not necessarily like assets showing up in different games, but it gives us the ability to plug in with different games very efficiently and effectively without the need to like code individual APIs or systems in that nature. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening on that end, and so like that was for me a bit of a my son is sleeping in the wall behind me, so I'll be talking a little bit loud. It's quieter.
We'll wrap the. I have one.
We'll wrap soon. We'll wrap soon. But yeah,
soon.
so like I fundamentally believe that like so the reason that I was excited about the Creator League is because we got a chance to talk about that stuff, and I thought more people would get on board. But then obviously all the news came out, all the everything about NFTs weren't even mentioned. So we've been planning this since I think the first meeting that we had about this was in May of this year. So we have been planning this for a very long time, and it just so happened that the four main talking tracks that the Creator League had, right? They had a custom Unreal Engine Fortnite map. They had, and he's waking up right now. Oh.
We get a guest appearance on this
show.
show.
Maybe we'll see if he's going potty right now. But we have a custom Unreal Engine Fortnite map. They had a prize pool of cash, right? They had 250K. We have $1 million, no big. They had the best streamers in the world. There's no chance. Like these people are the biggest. They have the greatest following. We have some great creators, and we're going to be rolling out more. So pay attention. And they have a community hub and a place where they can kind of discover more games, discover and talk with their creators. So we have those four things that we had been building out already, and so we figured, why not showcase like if you want to do a Creator League, this might be a better way to do it. Be upfront with people. Don't hide anything. Let people choose if they want to get involved or if they don't want to get involved in the blockchain side of things. Like, don't try and hide things from gamers or the internet. The internet always finds out.
Yeah.
Like, we literally caught the Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
Because the internet exists. So, like, don't hide things from the internet. The internet will find out. And so that's what we're trying to do and we figured, here's a better way to do it. Everyone has context for why the Creator League didn't work.
Yeah.
The Game League's here to try and make it work.
Yeah. And there's no risk, right? It's free to enter, free to play. Come,
Yeah.
have fun, win some cool stuff. I got 2 more quick questions for you.
Go for it.
Maybe I'll start with this one because we touched on it, but I also like want to make it clear for everybody. This $1 million prize pool, there's a lot up for grabs. You
Mhm.
mentioned 85 game partners or over 85 game partners. Tell me more about like the prize pool and what people can stand to win, because I think it's a mix of like assets. There are going to be some cash prizes. What can you shed color and light onto for that?
Yeah, so for any of the traditional games, there are cash prizes involved. We are unlicensed, so like in the sense that we don't have like I don't know, gigantic Fortnite licenses where we can give away massive prize pools. So there are cash prizes that are involved with those games because that's just part of being an unlicensed thing. We can't give cryptocurrency away. But for the loot boxes and stuff like that, we will have redemption codes. We will have peripherals. We will have a lot of fun and amazing things that we're going to be giving away as part of this prize pool. And just know that this $1 million is kind of distributed across the 80 different games that we have. So we really want to give like a smorgasbord of things for gamers to come in and do and test and try out. And man, that cheese really stinks. Maybe I won't eat that cheese or play that game. This little charcuterie board, this piece of meat is delicious. Maybe I will sink my teeth into this some more, right? That's what we want to set up here. And so I don't know. That's
So
what
it's
we're
going to be
calling
a gift box of like incredibleness and
And if
a
you, the
mixture of
best part
everything.
too, like for anything that's on chain that comes in this gift box, right? And you don't like it, go sell it, make some
Yeah.
real money. Take that money out into your bank account. Go buy some holiday presents for your friends, or keep it all for yourself
Yeah.
and be a selfish human. Be the Grinch on Christmas
Hey,
or
that's the beauty of
the
ownership,
holidays.
right? You can do whatever you want to do with it. I want to hear a little bit more like, I mean, that's a lot of in the prize pool. So I'm hoping that some of these like top tier games that I'm excited about and some of these other ones like really put some valuable assets, some things
We'll
that
be
they're
making
excited
those
about.
announcements to come. All right, we don't want to give too much away.
Okay, I gotta dig. I gotta
Some,
dig.
we got some big prizes with some of these top games, which is exciting.
Cool. Well, stay tuned for that, guys. I can only get so much, but we do this show every week on Binance Live, so maybe I can pull some more out the closer that we get to Game
Yeah.
League. Tell me about these seasons. We haven't talked about that, and I know there's like a seasonal idea floating around potentially.
Yes. Yeah, so this is season 1, right? And the game league will look like this right now. Season 2 will probably look a little bit different. But the idea here is we want to consistently for games that are out there. There's going to be new games that are coming out every month. More people are going to be trying to build in the blockchain space. More people are just going to be indie games that just want to acquire users. And so we want to roll this out seasonally as like big events that gamers can get involved and get rewarded for playing games, right? We fundamentally believe if you're a gamer, you deserve to. You're choosing video games over like Netflix and Amazon Prime and going to work and
Grass.
sleeping and touching grass, right? Yeah. And so like because you are choosing this industry to hang out in, like we believe that you should enjoy that and get rewarded for doing so. And we want to thank you for your service, right? That's all the sweaty gamers out there. Thank you for your service. We really, really appreciate it. And so we'll be doing this kind of on a more regular cadence going forward. The framework of how that looks could be a little bit different in the future, but we have some ideas. But yes, this will be a kind of ongoing thing that you can get ready for.
Very cool. All right, so we'll close out with some softball ones, man. What didn't
All
I
right.
ask you, or what is like something that you want, to make sure that people take away from this? I think you've done such a good job of so much of it, but I want to make sure I'm covering my bases. So, is there anything that we didn't cover with
You
Game
didn't
League?
ask what was my favorite meal that I've eaten while I've been in Texas. So I've been visiting my family, my wife's family in Texas. Chicken fried steak. To all those who are listening, I'm assuming on the Binance Live show, especially, you probably have never been to Texas, or if you have, or you've probably heard of Texas and how it is. So there's this meal in Texas. We just get American sometimes, and it is called chicken fried steak. You take some steak, you mash it into this tiny little thin thing, you bread it just like you would fried chicken, You throw it in the deep fryer, and then you have this delicious white gravy on top with some mashed potatoes and julienne carrots, and you couldn't get more red, white, and blue with a meal other than this, and that has been my best meal since being in Texas. So that's probably the one question that I think you missed.
Americans will fry anything is what
we
we've
will.
come to learn.
We will.
What meal are you looking forward to the most in Thailand?
Good follow-up question. There is this dish called khao soi gai. It's only in the northern part of Thailand, and unfortunately, I'm going to be in the southern part of Thailand. But it is this chicken with egg noodle deliciousness that has a little bit of vinegar on top, and it has some crispy little noodles that are sprinkled on. I'm telling you, it's amazing.
Thailand has some of the best food. I've spent time out there as well. Their food is incredible.
I've been training my wife. She says I'm going to be weak when I get there because we got to Texas 2 weeks ago, and she's gone through her own bottle of sriracha in training and own bottle of jalapenos. And I've only gone through like a quarter of one bottle of sriracha, so I'm probably I got to play a lot of catch up.
I love it. I love it. Well, Rex, we're going to close this out.
All right.
For the people that are watching this, what is the next step? They've pre-registered.
Own.gg is the only thing that matters right now. Go pre-register and then pay attention. If you follow us, if you jump into our Discord, if you follow us on Twitter, that's where the codes will start coming. You'll see many more announcements that are coming out very soon. We'll be talking with all our game partners. We'll be making more content like this, more AMAs, talking with a lot of folks. So just keep paying attention, and there's going to be a lot of ways to start leveling up your mark sooner than later.
We've got an entire month of exciting things leading up to Game League. Go register right now, owned.gg. Get in the loop. We're going to be running things in the Discord apparently, and all sorts of stuff. So that is going to be
get your best friend Icy on some game nights probably. Here we go.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited. Rex, thank you so much for the time. That's going to close out the episode. Recap, Binance Live, Crypto OGs. We're going to be here every single Thursday, bringing you the best in Web3 gaming, keeping you in the loop of what you need to know. This was a special episode covering Game League because this is the biggest thing happening in the space right now. Everyone,
you said it, not me.
Everyone should register. Everyone should participate. There's a whole bunch of great prizes up for grabs, and it's free to enter. We don't got chocolate, but we got digital assets.
Maybe should we get chocolate? We'll talk to Mr. Beast. All right.
I mean, Spike is still waiting. He's been checking every day. He's still waiting for his piece to
opening his mailbox, like looking at it. It's like a fly flies out. Yeah.
And Mr. Beast, these are no shots at you. We love you. We support you.
I want your chocolate. Like legitimately, I would like some.
Yeah. So if you see this, we want the chocolate.
If you see this, that means we know we've done something right first and foremost.
Our entire goal is to get on Mr. Beast's radar. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you, Rex, so much. Appreciate you. And own.gg, go register now.
Go. Love you, mean it. Bye.